I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself.
Hello there pet and welcome to the Capo Plays. Now today we've got a bit of a behemoth to cover. I'm sure everybody in the observable universe has played a Sims game. It's a simulation game where you get to design a family and give them a house and live out your desires through them. Whether that's to be the smartest, richest sim in the area or to watch your family die in an accidental house fire which you totally didn't cause on purpose. Anyway, this game needs no introduction. It's The Sims 4, released in 2014 to mixed reviews. It wasn't a bad game, but it missed out a lot of content that previous games had in. Over the years, the developers have answered some of these questions in the way of patches and stuff packs and things like that, but the game generally sits at about a 6 or 7 out of 10. So today I'm going to be creating a sim and seeing if I can get him to the top of his game, and throughout the video I'll be peppering in little fun things you can do in The Sims 4 as well. So sit back, enjoy, and remember to buy a smoke alarm.
Rule of 4?
So The Sims 4 opens in its usual chirpy way. You get an intro screen with some Sims doing stuff, accompanied by some awesome bouncy music composed by this gentleman, whose name I do not wish to butcher. Anyway, after enjoying that, we move straight onto the Create a Sim section where you create a sim. This is the first place you'll notice a lack of content, but everyone already knows about the lack of content on release, so I'm not going to harp on about it. Instead, I decide to create Ryan. He is a beautiful man who don't care about your bullshit and only exists to prove that even people with bright red hair can be successful. And speaking of success, I've decided that Ryan's ultimate goal is to accumulate as much wealth as possible. Whilst doing this, I realised that Ryan's going to be a busy guy, so he's going to need a slave, a roommate, to help him out with mundane chores like cooking and cleaning. This way, the little red rooster here can concentrate on being awesome and raking in those creamy simoleons. Affectionately named Conroy Bumpus, this pink-haired nobody desires only to cook and clean. Wicked. And so we have these two numpties. Obviously they need somewhere to live. I could have picked one of the ready-made houses on the map, but that's boring. I wanted to build something myself, but I didn't want to give them a huge mansion to start off with. So I decided to build a house roughly based around my own house so I could keep it relatively modest. Obviously it's a little bit bigger than my house with a couple more embellishments, but it's more or less a similar shape.
My name is Lil Wayne, and this is my crib. Let's do it.
Let's get started on the ground floor. You've got your modest entry hall place, like I do in my house. Next to it you have your lovely big kitchen, like I do in my house. Not quite this big, but it's a nice size. Plenty of space for activities, cooking food, eating food, etc, etc. Next we swivel on over to the living area, which has a nice settee and chair combo, nice fireplace, nice big telly, couple of pieces of artwork. You know, I wanted everyone to feel good whilst they were sat in my house. And from there we slide on through to the conservatory, which is kind of like the hobbies, crafts and skills area. In here we've got a computer to do all the naughty things that you can do on a computer, a bookshelf to do all the naughty things you can do with a bookshelf, and some space for whatever activities I decide I need to do later down the line. Off the back of the conservatory we have the lovely big garden, which in real life is a shithole in my house, I'm afraid, but never mind. In the corner there we even have the little shed for Conroy to live in. After that we mosey on upstairs. Now upstairs you'll find Ryan's bedroom. He's a big fan of the colour red, in case you hadn't noticed. You'll also find the super sexy, super modern bathroom with all the mod cons, everything you could possibly need. And then we have a spare room in the corner here, which I haven't decided what to do with yet. In real life, that's where I'm sat right now. So that is Ryan's lovely home and base of operations for making a fuck ton of money. The next step on the road to success is to get a job, right after Conroy makes us some damn breakfast. Thank you, Big Bump. Now, as I was saying, getting a job is pretty important if you want to make some big simoleons, and there's a decent handful of jobs to choose from. You can be an astronaut, a tech guru, a criminal, a painter, a secret agent, an entertainer, a culinary master, a writer, and potentially some more. After thinking about it, I decided that surely a secret agent would rake in the most bucks later on in his career. And also, with the choice of being a supervillain down the line, I think I know where my career is headed. Welcome back. Now, tomorrow is Ryan's very first day at work, so we want to make sure he goes in feeling tip-top. That means a good meal, a nice poo, a long shower, and a good night's sleep. The next day, Ryan heads to work feeling more confident than a man whose job it is to remove live trip mines from an ice rink wearing nothing but a pair of plastic bags full of dog shit on his feet. Whilst Ryan is away, Conroy takes advantage of the alone time to, well, someone's going to hell. Shortly after Conroy's wank, Ryan returns home from work in high spirits, but sadly with no promotion. Feeling a bit disappointed, he decided to go downtown and fill his body with poison until he felt better. Whilst there, he picked up some fine tail, but by the time they got home, Ryan was far too tired and decided to hit the sack. His friend decided to watch TV and warm her hands up for a while before leaving via the bookcase. Clearly this tomfoolery did the trick, because the next day he got his promotion anyway, and our red-headed hero is now an intelligence researcher. Whilst Ryan was out having all the fun and earning all the cash, Conroy grew bored and agitated. His passion was to cook, but with no one around to cook for, he was mostly filling the fridge up with food for Ryan's sustenance. Enough is enough, he said. I'm throwing a dinner party. Then Conroy remembered he had no friends, so he had to flag down some strangers on the street so he could invite them to his dinner party. Clearly all the civilians in SimWorld have never heard of date rape, because they were all more than happy for this pink-haired stranger to cook them food and entertain them for the evening. The party had a decent turnout of 3, and Conroy cooked his little heart out, providing a scrumptious meal, made everyone some hydroxybutyric cocktails, and danced the night away until someone fell asleep and...
Nation and blimey.
Yabasubao. Yupa, Mooby, Mopes, and Ark. Mousespec, a no bub. Blark. Bubna, Fina. Fwiza, Rush, Zaffle, Wibble. Badish.
Welcome back, and you join us as Conroy washes the blood and semen from his cold, guilty hands. Takes a nice, relaxing bath. Even though the party was a roaring success, it wasn't enough to fulfill Conroy's needs.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over.
So he decided to get a job as a chef. Ryan said that as long as the fridge was fully stocked each week and there weren't any shit stains left on the bog, then this was allowed. And so it went on. For a while, both of our stars trained and studied and worked hard until they finally both reached their ultimate goals. Let's have a look. Conroy always wanted to open his own restaurant, and thanks to years of dedication, hard work, and 3 mortgages, he finally achieved his dream. Located next door to a nuclear waste disposal facility and an abattoir, Mr. Bumpus opened the aptly named Shitty Bucket. The staff consists of Xena the cook, Mozart, the one who never fucking shows up to work, Ruby Rod the restaurant bike, Booker the sous chef, Big Dave on desserts and pastries, Siri the team therapist, Ryan who's secretly infiltrating the restaurant on reconnaissance business, and of course Big Bump the boss himself. They ran a pretty tight ship at the Shitty Bucket, food was out on time, staff were friendly, and they had 3 positive reviews on TripAdvisor. The suspiciously stunning restaurant offered luxurious dining with a lovely outdoor eating and bar area to breathe in all those toxic fumes, and even toilets for you to vomit in when you bite through a piece of still frozen chicken. All that aside though, at least everybody got on with each other. Ryan, it seems, had an all-round more simple goal. He wanted to have more money than he could possibly imagine and didn't care about how he got it. He and his band of bastards in black like to chill at their clubhouse most of the time, taking in some of the evil activities they have on offer, such as holding super important, super secret meetings, practicing the fine art of painting, because even an evil henchman has to be creative as well as fundamentally wrong in the head, band practice, come on now guys, we can do better than that. Once more with feeling, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, and probably most importantly, super secret research in the super secret research facility. Little do the guys know, but they actually have been sent on a survival training exercise. Can they survive? How long until they break? Where did the densely packed fireplaces and menagerie of highly flammable rugs come from? It's almost as if someone's trying to set them all on fire. But they all survived, so Ryan treats everyone to a burger. What a guy.
No.
Capo. Kalu. No beam. Ifla.
So that was The Sims 4, and as you can see, the game still has a lot to offer, even before all the stuff packs and add-ons and etc, etc. Yes, I know this wasn't really a review of The Sims 4, more of a how I like to sit back and play the game and how I like to enjoy myself on The Sims 4, and essentially that's what this game's all about. Yes, there are some goals and aspirations to work towards, but in the end, this is a sandbox game where you can create whatever sick, twisted fantasy world you want to. And that is why The Sims have been successful over the last 17 years. Anyway, that's enough from me. I just want to say goodbye. I hope none of you get beaten up or stabbed or anything like that. But, you know, it's a scary world out there. Maybe you're best off just staying in the house and playing video games. Safer. Probably.